ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Cards to Diecast 4 channel. I want to thank you for watching. And finally, we get a chance to resume our series on the Jordan vs. Flair. This will be episode 2. And instead of doing the base Flair set, we're going to be doing the Flair Ultra. This is the debut edition. This is Series 1. I believe, however, if you want this is Shaquille O'Neal's rookie year. Now, the card doesn't have any value. A lot of the Shaq rookie cards didn't have a whole lot of value. This is what Shaquille O'Neal's rookie card looks like. However, if you want this, I think you have to go with Series 2. This unboxing here is for Series 1. And then also with the Series 2, I think that one has the, if you notice here on the corner, you see the NBA Jam session. I think that was an insert card for Series 2 as well. So I think that's where you would have to go. This right here is Series 1. And so this is Jordan versus Flair. So obviously the Michael Jordan card is what we're going to be looking for. As we have already done 1993, we're going to be entering 1992. So let's go ahead and get this thing going. And as always, whenever you're doing an unboxing, particularly if you're looking for a specific card, make sure you have your soft sleeves, penny sleeves, and your top loaders or your sheets ready to immediately put that card that you're wanting to hit, immediately put it in someplace protective so that you don't get it just by happenstance, just be a little bit ignorant and end up tearing up your new card, because I've done that before. So make sure you have your top loaders and sleeves or sheets ready for your hit. So let's go ahead and bust this box open. Sealed up and everything with the sticker on it as well. You shouldn't have too much of an issue. It's very hard, as you can see here. These packs, you can't see through them, so there's really no way to. Well, if I look at the front card, I can see what type of cards I have. But nonetheless, though, as we enter into 1991, this is where you're probably going to want to spend a little bit more money in investing in some authenticated boxes. Because even with 1991, you start seeing where it's much easier to sift through and pack cert. And so you want to make sure that you keep that in mind whenever you start going. And look, lo and behold, very first pack, Michael Jordan. Let's go ahead and take him out. And the one thing about these Flair Ultras, you can see how the whole pack seems to be very stuck together. But let's go ahead and get Michael Jordan out. So we already have our hit right off the bat. I wish it was this easy as a kid when you're having to buy these packs as individuals. So we already have our Michael Jordan hit to begin with. Hopefully this will be one of many. And since he is our hit, as always, remember to whip out your, in my case, it will be penny sleeve and top loader. So let's go ahead and put good old MJ into a protective case. And there you go. It is now protected, so just in case I do anything stupid, we should be fine. Alright, let's do this. The cards are very stuck together, so this might be a long video. We got an Isaiah Thomas right there. Lionel Simmons. And then we have, we actually have an Alonzo Mourning rookie card here, so you might actually be able to get a Shaq rookie card with Series 1. I didn't think you would, because I thought back in '92, Shaq, for his first line of cards, had to go through the Classic line. This old company called Classic. And I thought he had an exclusive contract, but maybe I'm wrong, so maybe I gave you some bad information. But let's go through all this and see. Hopefully this isn't a very long video, because all the cards seem to be very stuck together. Now there's some sort of Scottie Pippen specialty set that they have here. I don't know why they was giving him that honor, but they decided to go ahead and do that. And so let's go ahead and close out this set. So that's a pretty good pack right there. But these were the first like elite line of cards. Instead of your usual $1 a pack or $1.50, these probably would have cost you $3 to $4.50 a pack back in the day. Now you can get a whole box for less than 30 bucks, even at this point. This might be a long video, people, because this is all the cards here are stuck together. Anthony Mason, who died not too long ago. Sam Bowie, who was the guy picked between Elijah Wan and Jordan in that draft. He has a dubious honor of being like one of the biggest draft busts because of that. And that's actually the second time I busted open a pack of 1990s hoops, and the very first pack had a Michael Jordan right on the cover. All right. Scottie Pippen. Patrick Ewing. A new Bull during his last few years. Yeah, all these cards here. This is the first year, I think, of the high gloss. And as you could tell, after all these years of being in the packs, they seem to be very stuck together at this point. Yeah, this is going to be a long video, guys. All these cards here are stuck together. If it gets too tough, I'm just going to skip over them because, like I said, we're here just for the Jordans. If I'm going too fast, remember you can pause the button. All these videos are supposed to be in 1080p, so you should be able to get a clear vision whenever you pause the video. All right, here we go. Now we have a nice pack that's free-flowing. I like this. I spoke too soon. Adam Keefe, Tony Smith. Next pack. Oh, well, there you go. I don't know if you caught that, but let's see. God, these cards are just so sticky. Here's Derek Coleman, who used to be a pretty big star in the early 90s. A lot of expectation with him. Hakeem Olajuwon in the goggle days. And then, of course, in this pack, we got a second Jordan. So very good. Right off the bat, within the first 6 packs, we got 2 Jordans. Very nice. So we'll pause for a second here, get our penny sleeve, because some of these cards I actually do want to get graded. Insert card of Patrick Ewing. insert cards like this, go ahead and set those aside, because sometimes if you get a complete collection, get the cards graded, particularly if they're all Gem Mint 10, sometimes you actually can make a very good chunk of your money back. Larry Johnson, especially since a lot of these boxes here, the 93 Fleer cost me about 15 bucks. This box here cost me about 25. So these are actually relatively cheap boxes that you could possibly make an investment out of. But you got to be willing to get those things graded. If you don't get them graded, they're going to be worth only a few dollars a card at best. And that's only with the Jordans. All the other cards, you probably can't even give them away. Scotty Skiles, David Benoit, Kevin Smith, Mark West, Stanley Roberts, James Worthy, Sleepy Floyd, Harvey Grant. Oh, man. The one thing I will say, the Series 2, when I was unpacking that set, I mean, they had cards upside down, left and right, and everywhere. At least this box here, the cards seem to be all in the same upward position, but they're just so stuck together. Kevin Willis, Kevin Roberts, Benoit Benjamin, Terrell Brandon, McHale, who probably was near the end of his career, Karl Malone, the Mailman, Anthony Carr, and there you go, the last two cards there. Alright, let's go ahead with the next pack. They're all stuck together. They're all stuck together. So keep that in mind, but at least they all keep their shape and they all still look pretty sharp. The one thing about these cards and a lot of other cards that have a lot of or a lot of black in the background, black borders, is that it's very hard to get these things graded high because it's so obvious for the chipping. And I believe, as I said, this is one of the first series that had the high gloss to try to separate it, make it look a little more fancy. Like I said, this is the debut edition, premier edition 200 card base set, and then it had two ultra collectible subsets. It's the All-Star Team and the NBA Award winner set. If there's any All-Star cards that you get out of these boxes, keep them, because those things could actually go for some pretty good money if they're Gem Mint 10s. I think in 93, I think I just saw 90, I think it's a 91 Fleer All-Star that was a Gem Mint 10 that went for a little bit over $100 of just one of the, not even Jordan, is one of the other players. And then I think it's like 1990, 1989 is when, if you get a Jordan All-Star card that's a Gem Mint 10, those things could sometimes go for $1,500. And the 91, 90 Fleer set's not all that expensive to get. Dominic Wilkins, Brad Dougherty, who wore to 43 because he was a Richard Petty fan. Wayman Tisdale, Felton Spencer, John Starks, who was one of my favorite players on the Knicks because I was a Knicks fan at the time. The reason why I do a lot of these 90s basketball is because I was a big fan of early 90s basketball. Once I'd say probably about after the Houston Rockets won both their championships, I sort of fell out with basketball. Of course, everybody knows who Michael Jordan is, but beyond that, though, started really losing interest in basketball and started paying attention more to NASCAR. As you can see, guys, these cards are all stuck together. I want to really just skip through the big chunks, but to be honest, there could be a Jordan somewhere hidden there, and I don't want to do that. I want to get all the Jordans I can. That's the reason why we're having this whole series, correct? All right. Here's another Alonzo Mourning rookie card, #1 draft pick. The Series 2 has him actually playing an NBA game. Charles Oakley, Jeff Rulin, Fat Liver. Anthony Peeler. Then here's another insert card. Like I said, I'm keeping all of these as well. For Charles Barkley. Keep that. Mark Bryant. Kendall Gill. Man, these things are like bricks. So keep that in mind whenever you buy this box. This thing here, it feels very, they're like bricks. Each pack is like a brick. Derek Harper, who was, I think, part of that 93-94 Knicks team. AC Green. Dan Marley. Moses Malone, man, he was still playing there in his time. I think he was about to retire at that point. Stacey Ogman, 5'3", Muggsy Bogues. John Williams. Dale Davis. Scott Williams. Another brick of cards here. Alright, we might start skipping chunks of cards here if they're just so hard to get through. Hope you're enjoying this. If you're enjoying this video, I know there's not a whole lot to say while I'm doing it. Please like and subscribe nonetheless. Helps me out. The more likes and subscribes you have, particularly subscribers, the more YouTube allows you to do some different things that otherwise you may not be able to. In fact, I'm fortunate enough just to be able to put videos that are just one whole video and not having to keep chopping all these videos up into 15-minute segments. So please like and subscribe if you feel the need to do so. Helps me out. Sean Elliott, Anthony Bowie, and I think my my hypothesis on how you need to have the Series 2 box in order to get the Shaquille O'Neal rookie card, I think, is accurate. I think his first round of cards went all through Classic, and then he was released from that, and then he was allowed to make cards with everybody else. And so his rookie cards usually appear in Series 2, various boxes. I just another just for fun unboxing that I did was the 92 Topps. That's the one that has all those packs with the one gold card around the name. His rookie card came out of the Series 2 box. So keep that in mind, because this is also, I think, one of the first years where you start seeing, I think it was 1990 or 1991, where you started seeing the expansion of the sets, and how Gary Payton card, and how it wasn't just one box, like the 86-87 Flair, for example. If you had the money to buy that, or the 88 Flair, like we're going to be doing here in a little bit, that's just one box. You don't have to worry about Series 1 or Series 2. As we get to 1990 or 1991, I think, is when you start seeing Series 1, Series 2, and as the card base expanded, instead of just being 132 cards, it started expanding to a 200 card base and such. So, which really I hate, because then you could buy a whole box like what we have here and pack open every single card, which is like 15 cards per pack, 36 packs, that's like 540 cards. And there's another Scottie Pippen career highlight. I guess I'll set that aside. And 540 cards, you still don't even have enough to complete one complete set. Which is why I really tend to steer clear of baseball. I was considering making one big purchase for baseball, and I was wanting to get the 93 Upper Deck SP. That's the one with the Jeter rookie. But I decided against it because it's about $1,500, and even if you were to break open all the packs, you still wouldn't have enough to even suffice a complete set of that whole, because it's 290 cards that make up the whole set. And even with one card of each player, you still would only have, I think, 288, so you'd still be missing 2 players. And so, of course, you have to account that a lot of packs have doubles, and so you get the same player twice. Now, you might be able to get a couple multiple Jeter rookies, but then again, you have to also consider the fact that Derek Jeter has a lot of foil in his rookie card, that prime rookie card out of that box, and those things are very hard to grade beyond a 7 or an 8. You start getting into the 9s and the 10s, that's when you can start charging big time bucks, but it's so hard to get that. I was kind of thinking of also getting a 2000 Authentic SP, trying to get that limited number Tom Brady card, but it's a limited number card, and then on top of that, you really got to worry about can you make your money back on these things? And I'm an investor. I'm not so much a collector of cards. I collect die-cast. I don't really collect cards. So it's I decided to go against that as well, because I like to be able to make my money back, or at least make a majority of it back. I don't mind taking a little bit of a loss, but at some point I do want to. If I can't make 90% of my investment back, it ain't worth it. There's a Sean Kemp. Sean Kemp, slam dunk man. Mitch Richmond, Nick Anderson, Tracy Murray, Brian Williams. Checklist, Glenn Rice, who supposedly nailed Sarah Palin. For those of you who like the salacious tidbits, you can look that up and do your research on that. Very sticky, very sticky. Brad Doherty, Richard Petty fan. He actually helped broadcast some NASCAR races when ESPN had the NASCAR license or contract, TV contract. Next pack. Want to get me one more Jordan. Like to get 3 Jordans. Get the lucky 3. Let's see if we can't do it. Charles Smith, Frank Brukowski, Johnny Newman, and another Sean Kemp. Buck Williams, Scottie Pippen, Joe Dumas, Dwayne Coswell, Dikembe, Philadelphia 76er, Patrick Ewing, Manute Bol, Mark Malone, Vernal Coles, Tom Chambers, Kenny Anderson, Vlade Divac, Otis Thorpe, and here's a really bent up Liddell Eccles. The card's all bent up. Starting to get to the last, I think, 6 packs, I think, so we're almost done here. It's going a little bit quicker than I expected. Steve Smith, Mark West, Stanley Roberts, James Worthy, and here's one of those Scottie Pippen All-Star cards, or All-NBA cards. Save those. I don't think at this point I'm going to be able to get the complete set. Stephen Curry's father, Del Curry, Mike Sanders, Dana Barros, Vern Fleming, Buck Williams. Isaiah Thomas, Lionel Simmons, Alonzo Mourning, Charles Oakley, Jeff Ruland, Fat Liver, Mark Bryant, Kendall Gill. I think we got a couple more packs than just 6. Let's see here. As you can see, guys, I mean, it's just real difficult to open these here. Randy White, Tyrone Corbin, Dan Marley, another Pippen career card, or highlight, Not sure exactly why they did that. I don't know, maybe they were trying to get as close to Michael Jordan as possible. And Pippen was kind of like the sidekick, so maybe they're trying to... Can't get Michael, might as well go ahead and try to get Pippen. And another bent up card at the end of the pack. You hear that? Mark Eaton, Kevin Duckworth, Marcus Liberty, who is stuck to John Battle. It's a battle to open these cards, I could tell you that. Robert Parrish, Detlef Shrimp. His rookie card, I think, is an 87. We'll see that. B.J. Armstrong, George McLeod. Spud Webb, another 5'3" guy. Adam Keefe. Kenny Smith. Or Tony Smith. Almost done here. I think we got about 5-6 packs. Now we got the final 6 packs. You can hear that. All that stickiness is the card separating. But I gotta keep doing this because I'm trying to make sure I don't skip a Jordan. Another career highlight for Scottie Pippen. For those of you NASCAR fans, I do have 2 boxes of the Panini Torque heading my way, so if you're wanting to figure what that box has to offer, it's released on the 31st. I should get it by the Saturday or the Friday before Labor Day weekend, so I will be doing unboxing as soon as I get that box in here, and so you guys can investigate, see if it's worth your money. The Panini Prism version was about $75 a box. This was about $136 a box. So expect to have a lot more. I know there's going to be on-card autographs versus the sticker ones you saw with the Panini Prism. So should be cool to check out. And there we go, got a third Michael Jordan. Boom, good deal. Good deal. I like having 3 cards a box. 3 cards a box. And I almost skipped that, I wasn't even paying attention. Alright, good deal. Alright, real quick. Gotta find my penny sleeves. I just flopped. What was that card that was before it? Was it Marcinulus, some sort of Russian guy? Isaiah Thomas. Lionel Simmons. Always good to know. Maybe the sequencing is something that you're interested in. In 1991, I'm going to try to see if I can't see through the wrapping, which is a video I'm about to do right after this video here, because that's when you start. That was the last year. 1991 was the last year of the wax packing. So I think I don't know. Maybe the 92 base was still. No, it wasn't, I don't think. I think that it was kind of like this one. So I think 91 was the last year with the wax packing, which allowed you to see through. Wayman Tisdale. About to end this here. John Starks. Alrighty then, final 3 packs. Let's go ahead and get them out. Mark Aguirre, Anthony, somebody, Eric Longley, or Luke Longley, Greg Anthony, Dennis Scott, Terry Davis. Man, they're stuck so all over the place. Robert Ory, Eldon Campbell, Vernon Maxwell, Purvis Ellison, Mike Eaton, or Mark Eaton, and some guy named Duckworth. Final 2 packs. Let's see if we can't really make this a sweet box. We want to get this a sweet box. Try to get one more Jordan. Can we do it? Can we do it? I don't think so, but I think three Jordans per box is actually a pretty good deal, considering how this had a 200 card base set plus all those Pippin and All-Star cards and everything else. I'll go ahead and take it. Tracy Murray, Brian Williams, a checklist. Final pack. Let's see what we can get in here. Let's see if it's a dud or if we could get something good. Close this box out in this episode. Another brick. Lance Nance, or Larry Nance. I was about to say that's the GTA guy, isn't it? Reggie Miller, Tim Hardaway. I don't think we're getting anything, guys. Dennis Rodman. Well, we at least got David Robinson. I don't think I noticed him. David Robinson. Willie Anderson. And the last card will be David Coleman. Alright guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. This is a culmination of episode 2 of Jordan vs. Flair. This was the 1992 year, and once again this is the hit that we looked for. However, I will say, when you look at the box here, you'll notice it says Series 1 here. This is I think in the 1990s, early 1990s, I think starting with actually NBA Hoops in 1990, you started seeing a box 1, that was a series, and then another box that would come along, that would be Series 2, because the 80s only had a base set of maybe like 132 cards. So as they started to expand, they started to include a lot more of the rookies. And so box 2, or Series 2, not Series 1, but Series 2 of the Flair Ultra, which I should put a screenshot right now of the box for you to see, I believe will start to include the Shaquille O'Neal rookie card, which I'll go ahead and show you right now. And I do not believe you're going to find this in Series 1. You're going to have to get Series 2. Also in Series 2, you're going to find the NBA Jam session, as I stated earlier at the beginning of the video. And here's the Michael Jordan of that. It's a 20 cards subset, I believe. And so yeah, that was pretty much it. And then of course, you know, there's another Shaquille O'Neal, some sort of insert card, some sort of dunk deal, whatever, I don't know. But nonetheless though, that was the 1992 year, the debut edition of the Flair Ultra. And now we enter into 1991, which I'm going to do right now, right after this video. And this is when you guys start seeing the wax packs, and we might be able to see through the cover of the pack to see what the first card is, and we're going to want to start trying to see if we can't find any sort of sequencing. But regardless though, I want to thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. This has been episode 2 of Jordan vs. Flair.